Oh, wrong camera. Technology these days, so confusing. Anyways, good morning, Level 1 youth. Happy Mother's Day. You're not a mom, but reminding you to celebrate because moms are awesome. Make sure you take care of your mom today. If you didn't make her breakfast, you better make her lunch and dinner. Celebrate your mom today. Remind them how awesome they are, and go out of your way to make this the best one they've ever had. Anyways, last week we had the big competition. We're going to get right into it. Let me remind you of the rules. It was whoever texted me first won. Plain and simple. One winner. And you had to get all 4 nicknames correct and all 4 meanings of each nickname correct to be the winner. When I made the challenge, to be honest, I was like, don't worry, Max. No way they're going to remember this. This was months ago. I didn't even remember the nicknames. Luckily, I took a picture of it so I could bring it up later, and so I have the fact check. But before I looked at the picture, I couldn't remember the nicknames. So I was sure there'd be no way. And I said you guys had to get it perfectly. And I was blown away how you guys got all the meanings perfectly and 3 of the 4 nicknames perfectly. But you guys both got the last nickname wrong by just a bit. However, I was so impressed that you guys got all of them. I'm just going to give everyone who sent me one your gift card, your promised gift card, because I had a proud, I don't know, youth director moment. You guys killed it, and I was very impressed, and you guys got awesome memories, and I'm glad it stuck with you guys. And that's like the one sermon I didn't really teach. I kind of had you guys come up with the nicknames and stuff, and it's the one you remember the most. So maybe you guys should take my job. But yeah, if you sent me it, you get a gift card because I was blown away. You guys basically got all 4 right. It was like El Comprehende or something. And you guys said like El Understando. So close enough. You guys killed it. I'm impressed. And I'm glad you guys remembered that. So gift cards coming your guys' way. Anyways, let's get into it. Things could be worse, right? If you don't believe me, maybe I should move on from this. Like, we're in 2 months. No. We're too deep in now, right? Anyways, here's some fail videos to remind you it could be worse. Because personally, I'm starting to get into this vibe, you know? I'm just chilling at home. I've got a nice garden going on at my house. Never thought I'd be into gardening, and it's kind of nice relaxation time. So it could be worse, and here's why.
Subject reporter Christine Pei is at the scene with what we know. Apparently, we don't have that story. Right now, astronomers at the University
Shooting investigation in southwest Albuquerque. You can see right here.
I'm Scott Mattis live in Hernando, Mississippi, where there's been spottings of a cougar, and that's not it. That looks like a house cat, but we're just feet away from where a local man rolled his cell phone video on what some say is a cougar. I'll be right back with a live report.
Hello and welcome.
I hope you guys are enjoying these videos as much as I do. I love looking for them. So that could be worse section, to be honest, is mainly for me. It's like, that's what I look forward to each week, is being able to find a solid video for it. Anyways, challenge of the week for next week. This one I'm excited about. You guys might be like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. But you have to do it. I'm begging you. Please, the challenge of the week is to write who can write and perform the best rap about their time during quarantine. Film yourself rapping about quarantine, make it original, send it on over, and you'll be featured. Who knows? This could be a start of a big career. You guys could be the next big rapper born out of quarantine. I think this has material to be pretty gold. So make it fun. Send me a video of you guys rapping about quarantine. No requirements. So I'm gonna take out the word rap. Doesn't have to be a rap. I just thought that'd be funniest, but I'm not gonna limit your creativity. Any song. I'll even allow a poem. Any written song, poem, something about quarantine. Preferably the funniest. Not looking for some beautiful poem. I want to laugh. So give me your best song about quarantine and send it over, and I'll feature the winner. I'm excited about this one. Get creative. Anyways, enough jabbering about that. Let's get into it, guys. So if you remember, we talked about Romans 12. I'm going to read what we kind of talked about last week, and then we'll get into it. This is a fun one. It says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your body as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." So if you remember, last time we talked about Romans 12, I'm not sure if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. But anyways, last time we talked about Romans 12, we talked about this part, living sacrifice. If you don't remember, we made the example of someone who bought a gold coin. They sold all their stuff, everything, so they could buy this coin that they knew was worth a lot of money. It was like $100,000 for the house, and the house came with the coin. So they sold everything, but the coin was worth millions of dollars. So they gave away everything, but in exchange, they got millions of dollars. So that was the example that was given. And it's our same thing with God, right? We give away everything, but we get something so much better. So that's what we talked about last time. Now we're going to move on to verse 2. Verse 2 says this, Romans 12:2, if you guys are highlighting your Bible or anything. It says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world." So don't follow the world is what that's saying. Don't let the world change you. Don't be molded by the world. Like, be your own man. Don't be changed by the world. But be transformed. So instead, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good and pleasing and perfect will. So we'll kind of reword that. What it's saying is, don't just follow the world and let the world control who you are. Instead, let the Holy Spirit change your mind and be led by the Spirit. And then after that, you'll be able to know what God's will is for you. So I wanted to talk about kind of a weird thing to think about, but this idea of, I don't know if you guys have had a girlfriend yet, but we can still understand whether you have or haven't. This idea of someone who gave up their whole, it sounds like a movie what I'm about to say, like a really depressing movie. Imagine this in a movie. Someone leaves everything for this girl. They suffer unjustly their whole life. They're getting punished for this person, sacrificing their life for this person, and they're doing nothing wrong, but they're taking the punishment for this person. They're mocked by their family for loving this person. They're made fun of, and then finally they die for this person they love for. And right as they're dying for the person, they see the person who they did all this, they wasted their whole life for this person, they devoted their whole life, not wasted. As they're dying, they see this person go to another man. And it's like, that's the last thing they see before they die. And you're like, Max, this is depressing. Why are you saying this? And I'm trying to draw this comparison to some degree. That's what happens when we turn our backs on God. Of course, that's not the last thing he sees. He's eternal. But it is, he gave up everything. He was the Son of God. Like, let's wrap our mind around that. He's God. And then he came, first of all, and as a human, that's already lowering himself. And then he was mocked. He was suffered unjustly, had a hard life at times, and persecuted. All for us. And then he dies in our place. And then oftentimes we say no, and we turn our backs to him and go to the world. So Jesus did all this. He suffered unjustly. He did it all. He died for us. And then he has to see us turn our back on him and go to someone else. And it's the most crushing thing. And I use that example because sometimes we hear that story about God so much, it's hard to understand. So when we put it in those terms, it might be easier to understand how crushing that is to Jesus, to see us do that, and to the Father when he gives it all and we turn our backs on him. So we don't want to turn our backs. When we turn our backs on God, like maybe you think, oh, that's just being an atheist or not being a Christian. But we can do that as Christians. We can be Christians and conform to the pattern of the world, what it's saying in Romans. So when we let the world dictate how we are, we let the people around us choose how we're going to live, not God, that's like us cheating on God, basically, and it breaks God's heart. So I want to read another verse. This one's from 1 John. It says, it's 1 John chapter 2, 15 through 17. Again, if you want to highlight. 1 John chapter 2, 15 through 17. Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. That's scary. If you love the world, the love of the Father is not in you. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, comes not from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. So again, it's saying you can't love God and love the world. You don't get to do both. You get to pick and choose. Are we going to follow God or are we going to follow the world? And a lot of times we kind of like to try to pick both, right? We're like, I'm a Christian, but I'm still going to do these side things with the world. But no, we got to pick God or the world. So this is saying, no, you don't get to do both, black and white. You're going to pick God or the world. And then it says, for everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. So there's three things it's talking about. The lust of the flesh, that's like the passion to feel. That's going to be eating or... and then the next one's lust of the eyes, passion to have is what I wrote. So it's like this passion to have. We want things. I want the new Xbox. I want the best new, I don't know. I can only think of video games, right? I swear more to video games. Life. I want the new Jiu-Jitsu gi for me. Maybe you guys want some new football gloves. I don't know. Point of life, the lust of eyes is things we want. The pride of life is the next one. The passion to be, that's our ego. We want to be the popular one. We want to have power. We want to be the team captain. And then, again, all three of these, a reminder, at their core are not bad things. Lust of the flesh, and we're going to talk about Jesus going through this, the passion to want to eat, of course. That's the passion, that's feeling, the passion to feel. It's not bad to want to eat. God put that desire in us. The passion to have. It's not bad to be proud, to want something, be proud of it, and be a good steward of it. Even the last one, pride of life, you may think, how could that be good? But to desire to be a leader and something like that with the right motives is not bad. To have a desire to be in a leadership position or to be in a place of power for the right reasons isn't bad. But all three of these in the wrong way become bad. And Satan, that's what he does. He doesn't just pull stuff out of left field. He uses things that were made to be good and turns them into evil. So those three things, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life. That's from 1 John. Now, if you guys haven't heard, when Jesus was on earth, he was tempted by Satan. Satan himself came down and tried to tempt Satan. And he tempted him with three different ways. The first one is Jesus had been fasting for 40 days. He hadn't eaten in 40 days. And Satan tries to tempt him and he tells him, if you're God, you're so hungry, it's been 40 days. How about you turn these stones into bread? That was his first temptation. And that's the passion to feel. The first one, lust of the flesh. He tempted him with that. Why don't you just eat? Because he knew how hungry he was. So he tempted him with the passion to feel. The second one, he says, prove you're God. Jump off this cliff. You'll be fine, right? Prove you're God. That's the next one we talked about. The pride of life or the passion to be. Right? The passion to prove he's God. And then finally he takes him to a mountaintop and says, Jesus, look at all of these towns. You could have all the riches of the world if you just bow down to me. And that's the passion to have. So in 1 John it says those three things, the passion to feel, the passion to have, the passion to be. Those are all things of the world. And those are what Satan came out with Jesus himself. He came at Jesus with those three things. He had three temptations he brought to Jesus, and they're all of that. Passion to feel with the food, passion to be with prove your God, and the passion to have with take possession of the cities. And it's interesting. Even when we look at ads, if you guys are on Snapchat, TikTok, whatever you're doing, YouTube, there's ads that pop up, right? They all follow these. Carl's Jr. popping up, the passion to feel, right? The passion to have. A new car commercial pops up. The pride of life. How you can rise in popularity. All those. It's what ads market us. The whole world is targeting these three things. It's what Satan is doing to try to pull us away. Not just saying, hey, don't be a Christian. No, he's trying to sneak in and let us just take our eyes just slightly off God and onto the world. And it so often comes through these three things that Scripture's warning us about. Last verse. And then we're done. James 4:4-5. It says, "You adulterous people," this is Jesus' brother talking, "do you not know that half-brother, that friendship with the world is enmity with God? So if you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy of God," it says. "Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Or do you suppose it is not the purpose of that Scripture says, he yearns jealousy over the Spirit that he has made to dwell in us?" So, just a final reminder that you can't be friends with the world and friends with God. It's one or the other, guys. I know it's hard and it's a struggle every day, but a reminder, keep striving. I think you guys have been doing an awesome job. You guys are, I've told you this many of times, you guys are way ahead of your years. You're way more mature than 99% of junior hires, and I don't think that's because of anything. One, it's because they're awesome parents. Happy Mother's Day. Good job, moms. And two, I think it's because you guys are following the Lord and He's maturing you guys. So keep doing what you're doing. Stick to the Lord. Keep your eyes focused. You guys are awesome, awesome people, awesome kids. I'm proud to be part of this youth group because it's been a blessing. You guys are the easiest kids to hang out with and teach and respectful. And I think that a big part of that is because you guys keep your eyes on the Lord. So keep it up. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. And of course, Brofit of the Week.
Another change up, and it's 2-1.
Oh, come on. Hey.
All that working out, and you can't open a water bottle?
Oh, come on. What's he? Sir, I think you got the wrong workout program.
Hit hard, just foul. That's almost like a gag, right?
Jeez. Are you kidding? He's still after it?
He ought to ask for help. Come on, give it to buddy.